The Edge of Fate reveal event was earlier today, and it had a bunch of different information about the new expansion coming out in July. However, it also had a wee section at the end to do with the expansion coming out in December, which is called Renegades. And the big pain point that seems to be the cause of a lot of discussion currently about Renegades is that it is a Star Wars inspired expansion. A lot of people seem to be taking that as it is a Star Wars expansion in Destiny, meaning things as crazy as Darth Vader is the main enemy, that we might have Baby Yoda, Grogu, as a vendor on this new planet, which looks like Tatooine. I'm going to look at the trailer through two different lenses. First, as a Destiny trailer, and secondly, as a Star Wars trailer. And then we're going to look at the specific clip in the reveal live stream, which said that it is in fact a Destiny expansion, which is Star Wars themed. If you want to watch the teaser trailer in full, I'll have a link in the description. I'm going to talk over it in both cases here and stop it as I go through. So at the start, we have a hall with a Cabal gun, which is your first Destiny thing. It appears to be in a Cabal ship. We'll see later on here, after the Bungie logo, that there's another Cabal weapon. This looks like it might be a Cabal soldier. Got a couple on either side. You can hear the Cabal stomp in the background. Then we have a Guardian here with a new weapon. This is clearly a Cabal ship with a door in the background there. New blaster, Cabal door, we're clearly in a Cabal ship. And then we've got some Guardians with obviously a laser sword, a new pistol, and then another weapon over here. And then we have this desert planet with a city in the background, which then has some sparrows flying around in the background. I don't know about you, but that is the most typical Destiny trailer I think I've seen. I don't see anything there which screams not Destiny. Now, if we go through as a Star Wars trailer, and looking for Star Wars things, we of course now have the siren of a Star Destroyer in the background. We have this red glow, which could be the Sith. We hear some blasters. The march is like of stormtroopers, I suppose. We then have, of course, a lightsaber, which looks different from a Star Wars lightsaber, but it is in fact a lightsaber. This could be a similarity to a Death Star sort of corridor. Death Stars tend to be white corridors or grey corridors. This is completely dark. We have a Star Wars pistol, which we see in the movies. And then, of course, we have the lightsaber. And the next shot then looks like Tatooine. We have a city which doesn't look like any cities on Tatooine that I know of. It looks more like a city which is in Rogue One that gets blown up by the Death Star cannon. But this looks like Tatooine or a desert planet. And you have these, I mean, they're sparrows obviously, but you could mistake them for like some land speed or something like that. It's very easy to look at this trailer and be extremely concerned that Destiny is going down the route of Fortnite and Call of Duty and many other games, in that they are losing their identity in a way because they're fusing with other IPs and other brands. Call of Duty, I remember back whenever the most controversial thing Call of Duty was having the ability to play as a clown in Advanced Warfare. And now you can play as actual celebrities and random characters and the such. You also have Fortnite, where you can literally just play Lego. You can be different Star Wars characters. You can be different, literally any IP under the sun character. And it is rather crazy. And I would argue, I mean, Fortnite clearly has sort of lost its main brand due to this. It's now became the crossover game. And Call of Duty is making a lot of money from these crossovers as well through bundles and the such. Destiny has done similar things. They've had Eververse store items, which are ornaments, which have actually, there's been a Star Wars set, there's also been a God of War set, there's been an Assassin's Creed set, there's been many other things. And this is the first time we've had actual gameplay content outside of the whole 30th anniversary stuff, which was a celebration of Bungie. This is the first time we're getting an actual expansion themed around a different IP. But the important thing to remember here is that it is Star Wars themed. It's not a Star Wars expansion. Now, there is, of course, the Lucasfilm logo down here, which means it's been done in collaboration with Lucasfilm. That is, in fact, a lightsaber. I expect it to be called as such in the game, not just a laser sword. But gameplay-wise, it's probably going to act practically the same as a sword, I suspect. This is the relevant portion from the live stream, which tells us that it is a Star Wars-inspired expansion.
But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, like definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio, and millions of you back at home, too.
So, it is specifically said that it is a Star Wars inspired Destiny expansion, a Destiny expansion which is a very, very typical Destiny experience. It is integral to the new saga story that they're going to tell over the next few years. I highly doubt we will see any actual character in this expansion which is from Destiny. I don't think we're going to see a major villain from Star Wars be the main enemy of the expansion. I don't think we're going to see allies like Luke Skywalker or Grogu or the Mandalorian in this expansion as like the planetary vendor. I don't even think the planet's going to be called Tatooine. It's clearly an expansion which has got elements, in fact, just themes from Star Wars, such as the Cabal. The Cabal are clearly similar to the Empire, to the Imperial Stormtroopers. I do find it rather interesting that they've actually decided to do this, I have to say. I didn't expect there to ever be a crossover, sort of, even if it's just between IPs, not characters from different franchises, but just a themed expansion. I never expected that in Destiny. I'm quite happy that they're trying it out. I mean, I personally love Star Wars as well as Destiny. So this is sort of like a dream come true to me because I genuinely expect it to be a Destiny expansion which has themes from Star Wars like a desert planet, like gunslingers, like the fact that there's laser swords, with a enemy which has a legion of ships, endless amounts of soldiers, prepared specifically for war, and I expect it to be a truly Destiny experience, but it also feels like Star Wars. And that's the big thing. There is no way it is going to be a Star Wars expansion. Do I understand why people are a bit suspect about it? Definitely. There's been many other games, countless games, such as Call of Duty and Fortnite, who have just basically lost their entire identity. It does destroy a game. And honestly, if this expansion does turn out to be we go to Tatooine and go and kill Jabba the Hutt, I'm going to be very annoyed and it may stop me from playing Destiny. To me, Destiny 1 already felt somewhat similar to Star Wars looking back, and both franchises do have a lot of core elements which are very similar. In fact, I bet they could have made this expansion without the Star Wars influence, and it still would have been the exact same. You just wouldn't have the actual lightsaber or the Star Destroyer background siren and all that sort of stuff. And I dare say a lot of Destiny fans are also Star Wars fans. And one thing I was surprised by, because almost all the comments on the Destiny subreddit and also on the actual video are complaining that it's a Star Wars crossover. But if you look at the ratios here, 5,000 views and 2.2 thousand likes. That's an incredible like ratio for a trailer. I look at it not as, oh no, it's a Star Wars expansion. I look at it as, I'm going to be on a desert planet. I'm going to be some sort of outlaw. I'm going to be gunslinging around the place. I get to have a lightsaber. It sounds incredible. It could still be trash. I'm not going to defend how good the expansion is going to be. I'm just saying it's not a Star Wars expansion. The other thing, of course, to say is that the Ultimate Edition of Year of the Prophecy has this bundle which makes you either Darth Vader as a Titan, Kylo Ren as a Warlock, or General Grievous, of all people, as a Hunter. And I saw some people get annoyed at this being like, oh no, the armor set for this expansion is in fact Sith Lords from Destiny, and they've never done that before and whatever. But it's actually not that deep. It's literally just the pre-order bonus for this expansion. You get this in game right now. This is not the armor set for the expansion. This is not this. They may not have done it as pre-order bonuses before, but they've definitely done silly armor sets before. And I look at this as, I'm never going to wear this in my life. But I look at this and I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't really affect the expansion, does it? I mean, to be honest, the fact that you can beat Darth Vader completely disproves the even possibility of there being a Darth Vader enemy. Anyway, bye.